You ever wake up and feel like life already beat you before the day even started? The alarm doesn't just ring, it detonates, ripping you out of the only place you still have control: your dreams. Your phone lights up like a police raid: 47 unread emails, 3 Slack pings, and a calendar invite for a 7 a.m. alignment meeting. Alignment, as if your soul could align with anything other than despair at that hour. You shuffle to the kitchen and pour your coffee. It's not cold, it's worse. It tastes fine, but it feels hollow. Like it's fueling your body while your soul sits in the corner, drained, quietly asking, "Is this it?" And then you open the fridge. Empty. Almost. A couple condiments, half a lemon, and that's it. Because you just dumped your entire paycheck into bills, rent, utilities, mystery service fees from the city. The fridge is a reflection of your bank account, wiped clean, just enough scraps left to mock you. Then comes the commute, or if you're remote, the soul-crushing shuffle from bed to laptop. Traffic is a purgatory of brake lights and rage. You're boxed in between one guy eating yogurt with his hands, another blasting techno at 7 a.m., and some SUV that thinks turn signals are optional. By the time you log in, you're not starting your day. You're already running on fumes. And yet, this is called normal life. This is what we glorify as work, like it's noble, like it's meaningful, like it's anything other than glorified modern slavery with Wi-Fi. The chains? They've just been upgraded to passwords you forget every 30 days. The whips? Now they come as gentle reminders from Karen in HR. The master, he smiles and says, "We're all a family here," while cutting your benefits. And the plantation? It's your inbox, a digital prison that never empties no matter how many out-of-office replies you set. And the reward? A paycheck that vanishes the second it arrives. Perks, like casual Fridays or lukewarm pizza parties to celebrate record profits, that somehow never trickle down to you. That's not culture. That's hush money. So here's the real lesson. You're not an employee. You're a subscription service, a rented soul. A human battery keeping the system alive while you convince yourself that jeans on Friday is freedom. Welcome to the machine, my fellow wage captives. Today's episode is called Work is Modern Slavery, but with Wi-Fi. So grab your empty-feeling coffee, stare into your empty fridge, and let's laugh at the misery together. The myth of dream jobs. Remember when you were a kid and people asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" You said astronaut, firefighter, singer, superhero. Nobody ever said, "I want to sit in a cubicle until my spine fuses with the chair." And then reality showed up with brass knuckles. Suddenly your big dream wasn't become president. It was, "Please God, just give me a job that pays rent and doesn't make me cry in the break room every Tuesday." Spoiler, every job makes you cry in the break room. They told us, follow your passion. That's cute. Try following your passion straight into a landlord's office. "Sorry, I can't cover rent this month, but I made this finger painting of my emotions." You'll be homeless, but at least you'll be authentic. The truth? Follow your passion is the oldest scam in capitalism. It's like giving a kid cotton candy and telling him it's a balanced diet. They don't want you to notice you're being exploited. Because if you love your work, you'll happily clock 70 hours while surviving on instant ramen and self-help podcasts. Let's talk dream jobs. They're just nightmares with better branding. Creative jobs? You think you'll write the next great novel or direct films that change the world. Reality? You're writing tweets for corporate accounts. You're designing PowerPoints with Comic Sans because your boss thinks it pops. You're editing wedding videos for people who break up 6 months later. Passion doesn't pay. Exposure does. And spoiler, exposure is just code for starvation. Helping people jobs? Nurses, teachers, social workers, heroes, right? Until you realize hero is code for unpaid overtime with a side of trauma. They'll clap for you in public, call you essential, and then quietly let you burn out while underfunding everything you need to survive. Congratulations, you're a saint. A broke, exhausted, underappreciated saint. Stable jobs, lawyer, engineer, accountant, sounds safe. Until you realize stability is just a padded cell with Wi-Fi. Lawyers bill so many hours they forget what weekends are. Engineers design apps that steal your attention span and sell your data to the highest bidder. Accountants? They stare at numbers until they start questioning if they're even human, or just spreadsheets in khakis. So here's the scam. There is no dream job. There's just work dressed up in costumes. They sell it as identity, fulfillment, living your truth. But strip away the slogans. And it's still the same. Trading your one precious life for a paycheck that evaporates the second rent clears. Because your dream job still emails you at 9 p.m. Your dream job still leaves you staring into an empty fridge. Your dream job still makes coffee taste like regret every morning. The lie wasn't just that we have to work. The lie is that we were supposed to enjoy it. The workplace circus. Welcome to the workplace, and also known as the circus. Only here, the clowns wear suits, the tightrope is your sanity, and the ringmaster is your boss, juggling deadlines like flaming swords he'll eventually drop on you. First act? Meetings. The corporate ritual. You spend hours in a Zoom call titled Quick Sync, which is never quick, never synced, and usually ends with scheduling another meeting. You sit there nodding at slides full of buzzwords. Synergy, alignment, leverage, scalability. Nobody knows what they mean. Nobody cares. But we all smile and say, "Great point, Steve." Like Steve just solved world hunger instead of suggesting we circle back in 2 weeks. And don't get me started on status updates. Nothing screams productivity like wasting an hour explaining why you haven't been productive. By the time you're done justifying yourself, the day is gone, and congratulations. You're behind on the actual work you were supposed to do. Then there's work culture. Ah, yes, the magical phrase companies use to disguise dysfunction. They'll tell you, "We're not just coworkers, we're family." Sure, a family where dad is a micromanager, mom is HR forwarding anonymous complaints, and your siblings would throw you under the bus in a heartbeat to get a slightly bigger cubicle. Culture means free pizza once a month. Culture means forced fun, like team-building scavenger hunts where you pretend to bond with Jerry from accounting while wondering if you could fake an injury to get out of it. Culture means everyone claps when the CEO gives a speech about our exciting future, and then quietly lays off 200 people the next day. And let's not forget office politics. The silent Olympics of brown-nosing. Some people spend more time polishing their LinkedIn posts than actually doing work. But guess who gets promoted? Not you, the one actually doing the job. No, it's Brad. Because Brad once laughed too hard at the boss's joke about golf. Brad's now your manager. Hope you enjoy explaining things to someone dumber than a printer. Ah, printers. The true villains of the workplace. Advanced enough to have 500 settings, fragile enough to jam at the worst possible moment. You'll spend 3 hours trying to print a single page, while your boss hovers behind you, reminding you the deadline was yesterday. And IT? They'll say, "Did you try turning it off and on again?" Yes, I also tried sacrificing my sanity to the toner gods. Didn't work. And if you're remote, don't think you escaped the circus. Now your workplace comes with Zoom fatigue and the horror of staring at your own tired face for 8 hours a day. Your boss says, "Cameras on, everyone?" Because apparently seeing me pretend to smile makes us more productive. Meanwhile, your cat is walking across the keyboard, your Wi-Fi is buffering, and you're one bad connection away from quitting and moving into the woods. The cruelest part? We all play along, we laugh at the bad jokes, we clap at the announcements, we nod at the nonsense. Because that's the show, that's the circus. And if you don't play along, you're the next act. Fired, restructured, or conveniently, no longer a good fit for the team. So let's call it what it is. The workplace isn't a family, it's a carnival of misery. The rides are broken, the clowns are terrifying, and the only prize you win is a paycheck that doesn't stretch to the end of the month. Welcome to the circus. Don't forget to smile. It's mandatory. Hustle culture and burnout. If the workplace is a circus, then hustle culture is the after-party no one wanted to attend. You know the drill. Rise and grind. Sleep is for the weak. You have the same 24 hours as Beyoncé. Yeah, but Beyoncé also has a private chef, a driver, and an assistant handling her emails. I have a $30 desk chair from IKEA and a bank account that starts hyperventilating every time I swipe my card. Hustle culture sells you this idea that your worth is tied to how many hours you can bleed into your laptop. You're told to work your 9 to 5, then chase a side hustle, then wake up at 5 a.m. for a morning routine that's supposed to transform your life. Spoiler, it just transforms you into a zombie with a Pinterest board. They'll say, don't just work hard, work smart. Translation, do 2 people's jobs for 1 person's salary and smile while you do it. They'll tell you, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Wrong. If you love what you do, you'll work every day of your life for less money, because passion is a discount code for exploitation. And when the burnout hits, because it always does, what's the solution? Lavender-scented wellness seminars, a 15-minute guided meditation led by Susan from HR, a free app subscription that tells you to breathe deeply while your bank account wheezes in the corner. My favorite is when companies hand out branded stress balls as if squeezing foam is going to fix the fact that rent went up again. Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's emptiness. It's waking up tired, working tired, and going to bed tired. It's weekends that feel like unpaid overtime because Monday is already sitting in the corner, staring at you. It's the creeping suspicion that no matter how hard you hustle, you're still 1 paycheck away from collapse. And yet hustle culture makes you feel guilty for resting. If you dare to take a nap, someone on Instagram will remind you, while you were sleeping, someone else was out there grinding. Cool. While they were grinding, I was dreaming about a better world. Still didn't happen, but at least my dream didn't come with spreadsheets. It's wild, isn't it? We used to dream of freedom. Now we dream of inbox zero. We used to measure success by happiness. Now we measure it by how many unread emails we survive before a breakdown. Hustle culture didn't just steal our time, it stole our imagination. Because here's the truth, the hustle never ends. You work yourself raw for one goal, a promotion, a raise, some shiny carrot dangled in front of you. And when you finally reach it, surprise! There's another ladder, another milestone, another KPI to hit. You're Sisyphus, rolling a boulder of tasks up a hill of deadlines, except instead of Greek tragedy, it's Outlook notifications. And what do we call this endless exhaustion? Productivity. As if being constantly tired, constantly anxious, constantly 1 click away from screaming at your laptop is an achievement. Hustle culture gaslights us into thinking burnout is noble. Like collapsing into bed with a migraine means you've given it your all, instead of what it really means. The system is eating you alive, and you're seasoning yourself with caffeine. So let's be clear. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's proof the system is broken. The hustle doesn't make you stronger, it just makes you emptier. And the cruelest part? Most of us are too tired to fight it, too drained to question it, too scared to stop hustling. Because if you step off the treadmill, the bills will keep coming anyway. Welcome to hustle culture, the cult where sleep is betrayal, exhaustion is currency, and burnout is the only promotion you're guaranteed. The economics of misery. Let's talk money, or rather the constant lack of it. Because no matter how hard you grind, no matter how many side hustles you juggle, it always feels the same. The second your paycheck hits, it evaporates. One moment you're rich for 12 hours, the next you're staring at an empty fridge, wondering how municipal service fees cost more than your will to live. It's a sick little cycle. You work to earn money, but most of that money just goes straight back into surviving so you can keep working. It's like running on a treadmill powered by your own exhaustion. Rent goes up, bills multiply, groceries somehow cost the same as a small car payment, and your boss says, sorry, no raises this year, budget's tight. Tight for who? Certainly not for the CEO who just added a 3rd vacation home. And then there's taxes. Oh, the joy of giving a chunk of your meager paycheck to the government, who will then use it to fix exactly nothing. Potholes? Still there. Healthcare? Still a nightmare. Schools? Still underfunded? But hey, at least they'll spend millions on a new ad campaign reminding you how resilient you are. Thanks, I'll try to be resilient while eating expired cereal for dinner. And don't even get me started on debt. Student loans, credit cards, medical bills. It's like your financial past keeps haunting you, except you can't call an exorcist. Debt is the subscription you can never cancel. You can unsubscribe from Netflix, but you can't unsubscribe from Sally Mae. Here's the real punchline. You're not working to live. You're working to pay for the privilege of existing. Rent, utilities, insurance, gas, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, especially because without it you can't even do the job that's paying for the Wi-Fi. That's capitalism's version of a practical joke. They say money doesn't buy happiness. True. But it does buy rent, food, and heat in the winter. And when those things are missing, happiness isn't even on the menu. The economy isn't designed to make you happy. It's designed to keep you just comfortable enough not to riot. A little Netflix here, a little takeout there, just enough dopamine to trick you into thinking you re-okay, while the system siphons off the rest of your paycheck like a vampire. And the worst part? We all act like it's normal. Like it's fine that the majority of people spend their entire lives trading hours for money that immediately disappears. Like it's fine that financial freedom is just a motivational poster, while most of us are calculating whether we can afford real toothpaste or if the off-brand version is good enough. This is the economics of misery. You don't get to save. You don't get ahead. You just juggle bills like flaming swords, praying you don't drop one. And when you finally do, the system doesn't catch you. It just says, should have hustled harder. So no, money doesn't buy happiness. But the lack of it, that buys you stress, anxiety, empty fridges, hollow coffee, and a front row seat to the slow collapse of your sanity. So here we are. After all the alarms, the hollow coffee, the empty fridges, the fake work families, the hustle scams, and the bills that multiply like rabbits, you've made it. Not to happiness, not to freedom, just to the realization that life is basically the longest-running scam in human history. Work isn't purpose, work isn't passion, work isn't fulfillment. It's slavery with Wi-Fi, with pizza parties thrown in as perks. It's a treadmill that only speeds up when you're tired. It's Sisyphus pushing a boulder of unread emails up the hill of unpaid overtime. And if you're hoping for a happy ending, here's the punchline. There isn't one. You work for decades, you retire, if you're lucky, and they give you a cake, a handshake, maybe a cheap watch. Then you're gone. And your family-like company replaces you on LinkedIn before the frosting on the cake has set. That's the big finale. You spend your life in the machine, and the machine forgets you the second you stop moving. But here's the weird part. In that bleakness, in that absurdity, there's something almost funny. Not sitcom funny, not ha-ha funny. More like cosmic, oh, so this is the joke funny. Because if the system is going to drain us, we might as well heckle it while it does. That's the only rebellion left, really. To laugh. To mock the absurdity, to sip your regret-flavored coffee, look at your overdrawn bank account and say, fine, if life's a scam, I'll be the sarcastic narrator. Because yes, the system eats us alive. Yes, burnout is guaranteed. Yes, money will always feel like it's sprinting away from you. But the one thing they can't take is our ability to laugh at it together. That laugh isn't happiness. It's not freedom. But it's proof you're still human, still awake, still refusing to pretend this is normal. Maybe that's the closest thing to hope we get. Not fixing the scam overnight, but surviving it together, sharing the jokes in the trenches, making misery just a little bit lighter by dragging it into the spotlight and saying, see, this is insane. Let's laugh before it kills us. So here's to us, the tired, the broke, the sarcastic, the professional email responders, the traffic survivors, the burnout veterans, the ones shackled to Wi-Fi, dragging ourselves through modern slavery with mismatched socks and unhinged smiles, and still finding the energy to laugh. We may not beat the system, but at least we can heckle it from the cheap seats, and sometimes that's enough.